Alright folks, looks like my camera's off, but that's okay. I get to go to the next case for free. We're coming down to the end here. This is case 59. Best laid plans.
3 nights ago around 11. I was in McMullen's Tavern. That's getting 1 hour regular. McMullen's. Now I'm fine this one.
Today is the big day, Matthew. It's time to take Lawson down. We'll leave momentarily for the town square, where the mass execution of political prisoners will take place just after sunrise.
Mr. Sherman came in drunk.
As agreed in our plan with the resistance, we'll hide in the building opposite the guillotine where they'll take cover under the scaffold. Then once the prisoners are brought out and Lawson emerges, we'll ambush him and clap him in irons. Concordia will be free once again. Maddie, sweetheart, are you positive you wouldn't rather rest here while we carry out the plan? You're due to give birth any day now. Charlie, Lawson plans to execute everyone who opposes his regime. None of those people deserve it, and some of them are our friends. Until our baby is born, I will do everything in my power to help the cause. And on that note, Matthew, it's time for us to head to the town square and get into position to take Lawson down.
We are opening always get the benefit of the doubt. They routinely make split-second decisions under the most difficult circumstances. Central on Ion Television. Brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
The great Emperor paid the migration, taking 100 miles to the breaking ground. Exactly these two fellows.
This time
It's definitely not Justin Lawson.
U-turn.
Recalculating.
Man would never go.
Just give it a 92 days.
I wonder if that's Inspector Gilbert.
As long as GPS can stop the loss, Geico saving folks money. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on a car insurance.
Hey, that's a clue. There we go. Got the first star immediately.
Or any of these others. Whatever you choose, you still get this much food, all for just $4. So try all 8 and pick your favorite. And taste what makes the difference.
Egads, Matthew! That's Inspector Gilbert and the guillotine. It looks as if he fought with someone and was thrown into it. The killer didn't even bother to put Gilbert's neck in the stocks. At least the resistance isn't here yet. Hopefully that means they have nothing to do with this. With Gilbert murdered here, Lawson will delay the mass execution. But that also means our plans to ambush him are ruined. And Lawson will be furious his right-hand man's been killed. We better solve this murder before he decides to take these matters and our lives into his own hands. At least you've already found some clues. Let's piece that torn card back together. And oh, I recognize this device. It's a knitting Nancy, used to braid yarn to make decorative trivets and appliques. But what kind of deranged person brings a knitting Nancy to a public execution? Good idea. Let's test for fingerprints to see whose it is. Matthew, we don't know who murdered Gilbert or why, but we must lose no time in finding answers.
And Forbes magazine said WGU is more focused on student learning than almost any other university. What are you doing?
And I'm gonna get stars. Sit tight, folks. Okay, I got 8 stars. Let's examine the knitting Nancy first.
Do you think this dress is pretty? Operation Molly.
Don't you know?
Listen, the reason we're here, we don't seem to take a lie detector. Why? What? Well, we're going to be testifying.
Matthew, let's put these prints in our archives to see who was at the crime scene.
Maybe I just don't like tests. Nerves about it. You should know you can't use the results as evidence. Evidence of what? You're accusing me, aren't you?
1,
I did
2,
not put my baby in danger. You've got so many accusing me.
4 of them. Judge Umbright. Matthew, the fingerprints on the knitting Nancy belong to Judge Umbright. Judge Umbright definitely shares Gilbert's emphasis on extreme punishment to deter criminal behavior. But what was the judge doing at the town square so early before the execution? Let's ask her.
She leaves the baby with us. Was that a problem for her? She made plans with her wife to watch the baby for an hour. And then
Ask her why.
That could be mine.
Is it true what I hear, Senior Trooper Matthew? Inspector Gilbert is dead? This is an outrage! Yes, we found his body in the guillotine. We also found something of yours. What were you doing there? I had taken my knitting to do yesterday as I watched the guillotine being installed. What a spectacle to behold! A spectacle only to be topped by today's execution. If it hadn't been postponed due to the murder. It must be those terrible resistance people who did this. They are committers of evil criminal acts. Find and arrest them all, Senior Trooper Matthew. Matthew, I don't agree with their opinions on the resistance, but we should check in with them. They're still at Lady Highmore's house. Let's make sure nobody follows us there.
In an exclusive interview, Carly's gal pal, Vicky Sandusky, Carly told her...
Oh, Matthew, it's you. We're all at 6s and 7s here with news of Gilbert's murder. About that, we wondered if the resistance might know something about it.
I'll decide how we proceed.
The Operation Molly message board said that Carly was staying at the Cosmopolitan Hotel.
Wow. We need to speak to Gioletta, since she's the leader of the resistance. Do you know where she is? No, but you're welcome to look around, Senior Trooper Matthew. Please excuse the mess. My home has undergone many changes and adapted to serve the resistance. This is totally lost there. Well, we wouldn't know anything about that or something like that. I have no idea what it said because it ended up jumping ahead.
You work in a hair salon. You can ask my friends. I have this, amazing intuition about people. And your intuition tells you that Carly started the fire. I mean, come on. She's a walking...
Well, first of all, I'm going to take care of the torn card.
Idea complex, really. You think she killed her baby on purpose? There's something you didn't tell the newspaper. You know how to investigate or hold something back. But now you're going to tell me. Carly said she never wanted the baby. It was her husband's idea to keep her on that straight and narrow.
8.
She said that she had friends in Florida. And now that she was...
Matthew, the torn paper you found was an invitation to the execution today. We all got one. But there was more written on this one. It says, Jay, welcome to Ravenport. Was Jay meant to be Gilbert? And what is Ravenport? Matthew, Evie can help us puzzle out this message.
Told her to get her baby safe.
Speaking of which, Carly just checked out of a hotel next stop could be Florida.
Arrest her. Oh, that's true.
Oh, should we talk to Jeff first?
He's at a fundraiser announcing Adam Schiff's endorsement.
I'm screwing this up for him, but there's not going to be anything left to endorse.
She's reading the jurisdiction. She killed baby Mikey. She killed baby Mikey.
I don't care if you have to drag him out of the bathtub, tell him to be in the
safety, stay there. I'll protect you. I'll protect you. We'll take these guys down.
Okay.
Every case is an opportunity to help.
Found them all.
Each clue can pull you in a different direction. You need to get out of there right now.
Private Eyes premieres Sunday, February 11th on Ion Television.
We took a $5 loss with all kinds of goodies. This one features our hand-breaded chicken.
Matthew, Lady Highmore is right about the changes. Her parlor looks like a makeshift hospital room now. And that wallet has the initials GC on it. It's the initials GC. You're right, it must be Giulietta Capesci's. Searching inside might tell us where to find her. And in my experience, locked boxes hold more important things. Let's get this one open.
You can drink, eat well, and exercise, but to be completely healthy, you need healthy skin. Cetaphil clinically shown to strengthen skin's barrier, protecting the most sensitive skin against dryness, so you can look healthier. Complete your health routine with Cetaphil.
New puppy? New food. There's so many
5, 5, 4, 5, 4. There we go.
including puppy solutions, which are specifically formulated
4, 5, 5, 4,
free to meat-rich recipes, wet food, and even puppy
9.
treats. And Smart and Blue Buffalo got you covered. And now when you spend $50 on Blue Buffalo puppy products at PetSmart, you'll save $10.
9, 4, 5, 4, 2. Matthew, there's an armband in this box. It belongs to Lady Highmore. It looks oddly familiar. You're right. It looks exactly like the armband Judge Takakura received when interrogated by the Justice Corps. So Gilbert subjected Lady Highmore to the same treatment? Lady Highmore said nothing about it. Let's speak with her.
Turns, hydrates, and reduces vertical wrinkles from CoverGirl.
Lady Highmore, we found this armband. Were you questioned by Gilbert? Oh, that. Yes, Gilbert rightfully suspected me of harboring resistance members, so he sent his stooges to interrogate me. Why didn't you tell us he'd been bothering you? There was nothing to tell. I merely told Gilbert I opened my doors to anyone who needed help in these troubled times. He didn't believe me, but couldn't prove I was lying, so he kept sending his stooges to patrol here, hoping to catch resistance members. Lady Highmore, this information would have been appreciated earlier. If you think of anything else, don't hesitate to tell us.
There's 0 points. Now you can count less and enjoy more. Join for free and lose 10 pounds on us. 30 off Friday, January 8th.
Now let's get to Gioletta's wallet.
Taste the combinations of non-GMO fruit. Slightly sweetened coconut water.
Ooh, a coaster. Matthew, it appears you found a coaster in Gioletta's wallet from a place called Smokey's Cafe. It looks like Gioletta has a rendezvous there at 10 o'clock. Let's go there and talk to her. Man, and we were, just when I thought we were on Gioletta's side, Gioletta was on our side. Gioletta, this morning we found Inspector Gilbert murdered and... Shh, not so loud, Senior Trooper Matthew. We mustn't be overheard together. But yes, I know, and his murder ruins all of our plans. How can we get close to Lawson now? He was unapproachable before, but now he'll get more on his guard than ever.
Do you have any idea what a minefield this is?
Gioletta, do you have any idea who might have done this?
Damn well better have some new and compelling evidence.
Well, it's not as if Gilbert had many friends, even among the core members. My hunch is someone did it to make the resistance look guilty. This killer truly bungled things for us now, and we're in very real danger.
It still didn't look like we reversed course because we saw our Teddy.
And I'll see you guys when both of these are finished. Okay, we have returned, and we will get the results of the autopsy. Hello, Matthew. Kind of an ironic turn of events. The murder of a man preparing for an unjust mass execution. I'm afraid the poetry is lost on me. What can you tell us about the science of the situation? Well, Gilbert was dense and muscular, so the guillotine didn't chop him completely in half. But I can say for certain the blade is what killed him. What about all the fight marks? There's no way the guillotine did that. Yes, I found significant bruising on your victim's neck and chest. There was definitely a struggle between Gilbert and his killer. I can't tell you who started the fight, but the pattern of bruising on the body shows the killer knows how to defend themselves. Well, the killer won't be able to defend themselves against handcuffs when we catch them, Matthew.
Will you let me go in and try to get a TV? Mother and sister off it. But I haven't spoken within 3 years.
Look, I know it's a Hail Mary, but we're running out of options.
Listen, I want to talk to Mom. Just slow down, please. This is all your father's fault.
Alright, so this is Eddie's mother and his sister.
I'll let your son know you're here.
And, mother did not stop the entire audience, but I got a feeling the sister...
Matthew, I admit I won't mourn Inspector Gilbert. He locked up Catherine. And while the execution is postponed, it still hangs over her.
Are you the one who arrested my father?
I know, but we must solve Gilbert's murder nonetheless. Did you discover anything about that message written to him?
It's not his fault. All those years ago...
The words "Welcome to Ravenport" clearly reference the town of Ravenport, Mazunda, where a major battle took place in 1780. Two armies fought over land. One was led by a famous general who was soundly defeated and then killed. For military historians, Ravenport alludes to his ignominious death.
I don't have a mother. What are you, an idiot? My mom's dead.
Ignominious death. So whoever wrote the message to Gilbert wanted him to know that his hour of death was at hand.
No. Sit back down.
I'm just taking
Yes,
you to the
and it demonstrates that your killer has a knowledge of military history.
You stop it, Jess. I don't want to do that.
Well, Matthew, our killer will have plenty of time to study history when we put them in jail.
Spectrum is proud to sponsor Mike in his quest for gold because we understand that to be the best, our work is never done.
Well, Matthew, I'm not sure what to make of Inspector Gilbert's murder. Judge Umbright is convinced Gilbert was killed by the resistance. But Gioletta's right. This murder ruins the Resistance's plans, and ours too. We were supposed to ambush Lawson before the execution today. Who knows when our next chance to take him down will come. The mass execution is postponed, but... Oh, just a moment. I'll get that. Hello, you have reached the Concordian Flying Squad. Madeline, Senior Trooper Matthew, I'm afraid I've done something unwise. A Justice Corps officer came to my house, and I knocked him unconscious.
We got on the pole cam.
Holy smokes.
So let's get on the girl's head.
We'll get to Chapter 2 after this. Hold tight, everybody. Alright, folks, we have returned to start Chapter 2 of Best Laid Plans. Afraid I've done something unwise.
Let's do it.
Let's go ahead on this.
Open the door, okay?
A Justice Corps officer came into my house, and I knocked him unconscious. You've done what? We'll hurry right over. Don't do anything until we get there.
It's okay. See?
See.
There's no gun.
Oh, Senior Trooper Matthew, thank God you're here. I'm going to need your help explaining my way out of this little escapade. Lady Highmore, what were you thinking, knocking out a Justice Corps officer? Exactly. Look what this woman's done to me. I'm Officer Smythe with the Justice Corps. I need your help in apprehending this woman for assaulting an officer with a frying pan. Lady Highmore, please explain yourself. I made a terrible mistake. He barged in and I took him for an intruder. These are troubled times, Senior Trooper Matthew. Oh, please don't arrest me, officers. I'm just a helpless old woman who tried to defend herself. I never meant any harm. Officer Smythe, this is a dreadful misunderstanding, but we will give Lady Highmore a strict talking to. And perhaps after that, we can discuss what brings you here, and if there's anything we can help you with.
Yeah, right here.
Very well, Senior Trooper Matthew. Report to me as soon as possible.
It's just me.
Ugh, that was close. Indeed. Thank you for saving me from arrest, Senior Trooper Matthew. And it was closer than you think. He truly did barge into the house and nearly discovered the war room I've installed in the wine cellar. You have a war room? Here? We'll need to see it straight away.
He's coming out.
How's Nick holding up? He's got a gun pointed at him.
Can't you get him in
Take that chance.
Between us and the back room and the wake. Go to the wall.
Crates,
And it's real.
newspaper,
And what you do.
globe, egg, magnet, and pocket watch.
50% off Pizza Hut pizzas when you order online. Supreme, half off. Meat lovers, half off. 50% off frozen pizzas because you love pizzas online.
This wine cellar has been converted into a very impressive war room for the resistance. Anyway, I agree, Matthew. This crate could be hiding something interesting. We ought to search it. And it appears there's an image rubbed away from this page of the new truth. Let's see what it is.
Thanks. How does do lightning?
We are at war. We are organized in the common revolt.
Let's take care of everything. There we go. A film roll. Matthew found a roll of photographic film in the crate. Let's get it to Charlie for examination.
She left me. What kind of mother does that?
I know that you didn't have to.
Don't mother me, okay? I had a mother. She's a liar.
Your sister cares about you. She told me that she wrote to you and she Facebooked you. You didn't respond. So
missed her so much. But Elizabeth, she never came back. She couldn't. Your father told me that she tried to miss me. I don't believe your father said that. What truth? Do you remember
There we go.
your sister was when you left?
Caricature.
15?
Matthew, that drawing in the newspapers is Giulietta, and her monster father Vittorio is next to her, with text saying, "The apple doesn't fall far from the tree."
Who's that?
So the regime's propaganda paper ran a front page feature on how Giulietta was as bad as her criminal father? You're right, Matthew. This must have been the Justice Corps' doing. We'd better ask Giulietta about this.
I'm still finding out with your sister when she was 15. Mother, at the death her
Giulietta, we found this illustration of you and your father in the newspaper.
had to protect Alicia.
Get that out of my sight, Senior Trooper Matthew. It's like that rat Gilbert harasses me even after he's dead. Gilbert was the one who published this. Gilbert was the one who published this? Ever since he was put in charge of the Justice Corps months ago, he's waged a campaign to make me look like Attila the Hun. He couldn't believe that the daughter of a mobster could be anything but a criminal herself, so he hounded me, waiting for a reason to do me in. But I couldn't defend myself against such cowardly accusations, and of course punching Gilbert in the face would have only given him a reason to lock me up. Instead, I quietly started the resistance. I wanted to show Gilbert that I wasn't some petty criminal, that I fight for justice. Of course he'll never see that now. Someone killed him before the resistance could have overthrown the regime. Okay, now let's see what Officer Smythe has to say. Oh, my head. Lady Highmore will regret having done that. I hope you talked some sense into her, Senior Trooper Matthew. Certainly, officer. Whatever we can do to serve the Corps. Glad to hear it. We need lawful people like you on our side, especially now that Inspector Gilbert is dead. I came to investigate his murder. I know he suspected this house of harboring resistance members. I've got my eye on them. Did you work closely with Inspector Gilbert? The inspector was my cherished mentor.
Let me get you out of here.
I was never in the military, but Inspector Gilbert made sure that I studied a lot of historical conflicts, and that I knew how to defend myself against riffraff. If it's the last thing I do, I shall avenge him. His murderer will be found and put to death. The Justice Corps will have a bright and glorious future. Yes, Officer Smythe, Justin Lawson will never falter. You should continue your search elsewhere, cover more ground. We'll take care of things here and report to you as soon as we find something. Phew! We managed to convince him we're on his side. Hopefully he'll leave us alone. I can feel the situation making the baby anxious too. The poor thing is practically pacing in my womb. That's gonna do. I'll see you all later.
Do the right thing.
Okay, we have returned. Let's get the results of the film roll now. Hello, Matthew. Maddie, I have some ideas of possible names for the baby.
I don't get it.
The first is Encropio. It sounds adventurous and noble.
To do with this case.
It does.
I'm sorry, Charlie, but just hearing that bizarre name is giving me acid reflux.
It's too late. This comes up now.
How about Melitios? It was the middle name of one of my uncles.
So I don't understand why the DNA...
Your uncle's name was Melitios? What was he, an insect? What's the next name?
Overturning the guilty plea without much evidence.
It's, Never mind. Matthew, you're probably curious to hear about the film roll you found at the Resistance headquarters.
The real rapist. Tied to both cases.
Well, the photos were exclusively of your victim.
Completely.
Your photographer spied on him all over town.
That was us to praise that.
And in one photo, the camera caught the photographer's reflection in a shop window. And it was one Enzo Jonas. Enzo Jonas? We met him while investigating the baker's murder. He's a key member of the Resistance. If Enzo was spying on Gilbert, we must speak with him.
Do you believe in New Year's resolutions?
And there's never been an easier way to get great advice. A Place for Mom is a free service that pairs you with a local
Talk to
advisor
Enzo Jonas now.
to find the perfect place. A Place for Mom. You know your family. We know senior living. Together we'll make the right.
Enzo, we found proof that you spied on Inspector Gilbert. I did indeed. If the Resistance is to stand a chance against the Justice Corps, we must know our enemies. So did you happen to be watching when Gilbert was murdered? No, but I wish I had been. I'm jealous of whoever got to see him die. Gilbert deserved death. He was Lawson's loyal dog. He made people's lives miserable. If he ever tried to do anything to me, I would have let him have it. His defeat in my hands would outshine the defeats of history's most formidable generals. But as it is, I only hear of his demise. Oh well, at least he's dead.
So where are
Matthew, Enzo is certainly lit with the fire of revolution. Anyway, I agree. We can't slacken our pace. Let's do another sweep of this place.
Destroyed Colombian Marine cruiser and Brazilian frigate.
The rapist never spoke. Could be because he had an identifiable accent.
But you were right about the uniform. Look at this. Canadian Navy and Colombian Marines wear different colors and different type shirts. Check this out.
Brazilian Navy, that unit looks very similar to ours.
These are victims of confusion.
Okay, so the Brazilian ship that matched the Rango, it's leaving the water, but right now it's out to 38.
So we narrowed down to 3,000 suspects.
We already know a few of them. I mean, Javier, Marco, they were witnesses at the bar. We re-interviewed them the other day right by their ship.
Javier pointed the finger at Omar 8 years ago.
If he's the rapist, he had motive to set him up.
All right, before we start the international incident, let's get photos out to the victims.
Oh
my god, that's him.
Okay. Let's see.
That's the man who raped me. I'm positive. Where is he? Did you find him? He's been doing this for 8 years.
Got it.
So if you
I'm sorry, Jan.
That's 2 for 2. Harry will also ID Javier. We may be too late. That was fair. Javier's buddy Marco is still on shore, but Javier is already boarded the ship.
Yeah, but their doctor in our jurisdiction was to stop us from going on and arrested.
Only about a dozen international treaties.
Matthew, what's this medal you found?
No way. U.S. law enforcement.
Oh, you're right. It looks ideal. Identical to the medal Gilbert always wore.
Yeah, but Javier doesn't know that we're looking at him, right?
But if the killer dropped it here, does it mean they're part of the Resistance? You're right. We know the Justice Corps also come here. We can't rule out that one of them wanted to frame the Resistance. Collecting a sample of that greasy substance on the metal is sure to tell us something about the killer either way. And I agree. It's also worth putting that torn cloth back together.
You think you're having another night at party? Not too many girls.
Buena ser, cara. So let's get business.
You going to work, Mom?
Guess you're lucky.
Here we are. Excellent, Matthew. Viola should be able to tell us more about this grease sample the killer left on Gilbert's metal.
Get the housekeeping help you need. Care.com.
It's freshly baked, it's delicious, and it's only 79 cents. Introducing the all-new 79-cent sausage biscuit for just 79 cents, only at Burger King.
The new Demi Lovato collection is here, and that means your first
Sweater.
outfit is just $19. Hey, I'm Demi Lovato, and today we're on set shooting my newest collection for Fabletics. The Valletta Midi Bra with the high-waisted capri is one of my favorite looks. We also added a new print, Mojave. It looks great on a high-waisted legging and matching sports bra.
Matthew, this is an adorably tacky sweater vest. And you're right, that's Judge Umbright and Inspector Gilbert surrounded by floating hearts.
Your paycheck, your family.
We previously learned of Umbright's passion for knitting. But it appears Judge Umbright also had a passion for our victim. We must talk to her at once.
Select quote found Alec, 38, a $500,000 policy for under $23 a month. Select quote found Kenesha, 37, a $750,000 policy for under
Judge Umbright, when we first spoke, you failed to mention you were romantically attached to Inspector Gilbert.
Shop a select group of highly rated companies like.
Well, what business was it of yours?
Give your family the security.
But I admired Gilbert greatly, it's true.
Since 1985, Select Quote has
We shared so much on the tainted moral views and how to enforce them. Together we would have been the model Justice Corps couple.
8855. Or go to Select
I made him that sweater vest and he gave it to him when we were strolling through the Highmore Manor, trying to catch the resistance.
Some kids do well in the traditional class.
It was a beautiful moment, until Gilbert destroyed my gift before my eyes. He said he was married to Justice and didn't want me.
Families another choice. K-12 is tuition free.
Gilbert spurned me, but I was determined to win him over. He should have known I'm not a woman who gives up easily.
By state-certified teachers. The curriculum is fully
Well, if your romantic passion pushed you to violence, Judge Umbright, you'll be the one judged next.
They can explore subjects they're passionate about and get extra help when they need it from their teachers and their parents.
See you guys when this is done.
Today to learn.
Okay, folks, we have returned. Let's get the results of the greasy substance.
Said it twice, ran away both times.
Viola, have you identified the greasy substance the killer smeared on the victim's metal?
Keep the street out. Our residents.
Well, at first I suspected it was some kind of sausage, but the presence of gelatin gave me pause.
So,
Then I realized what your sample was, a canned pork product that was recently released in Concordia.
13. It's like the first time.
Canned goods keep a long time and are very practical in troubled times like these. The killer must have had canned pork on their hands when they tousled with Gilbert and tore the metal from his coat. So the killer eats canned pork. Matthew, this evidence puts us one step closer to canning them.
One of our success stories. I'm still here from Teddy. That was another life ago.
Probably a good thing to visit back to you sinners. I bet you
It troubles me, Matthew, that most of the investigation into Gilbert's murder has kept us here in the Resistance headquarters.
not exactly a friend.
I don't like suspecting them. These people are on our side. But of course, neither Giulietta nor Enzo pretend they had any affection for Gilbert. Bet you that bruise on their face is going to be a clue. Then again, we've also found unexpected visitors to the Resistance headquarters, like Officer Smythe and Judge Umbright sniffing for evidence of wrongdoing. And Umbright burned with passion for Inspector Gilbert, only to be spurned. Would that make her angry enough to kill? I agree, we can't know until... Ah, ouch, ooh. Matthew, there's a pain. Sorry, Matthew. I've been feeling it on and off all day, but... Ah, this one is even worse. Oh no, Matthew, I think I'm about to give birth.
This is a pretty rough scene.
Oh boy.
LGBT runaways, and we don't know that Teddy's there.
We'll find out if Maddie is giving birth in Chapter 3. Don't go away, everybody. Okay, it's now time for Chapter 3 of Best Laid Plans. Just found out that Maddie might be giving birth.
One at a time. Take a number. Plenty for everybody. That's not a dumb shoot.
Go away.
You two look like you're looking for a party. Maybe we can work something out. You need her. Well, I can be the bread.
Uh-oh. Madeline, my dear, I heard you from down the hall. We need to get you to the hospital. I don't think I have time for that. The baby's coming right now. Alright, go lie down on one of the beds. I'll call your husband. Matthew, I wish I could be with Maddie right now. She sounded in so much pain, but they pushed me out of the room.
On television is on set with
I hope Lady Highmore knows what she's doing. She's not a qualified midwife. Whatever she says about having seen things, young man. Matthew, I'm going to be a dad. Am I even ready for that?
You're both going to jail, you know that, right?
Are either of us ready for that? Is anyone ever... Oh my god, Matthew, is that a baby crying? That's it! We're going to see Maddie right now! Charlie, Matthew, meet George DuPont. Maddie, I have no words. He's beautiful. He is. I can't believe he's finally here. Charlie, it's our son. Maddie, I love you. This is the most wonderful day of my entire life. Ooh. And thank you everyone for all your help. I heard the news and rushed here. Congratulations, you two, and I'm enchanted to meet you, George DuPont. Matthew, unfortunately, there's no time for festivities. If we don't catch your killer soon, Lawson will have our heads. I've come to help you continue the investigation. About that, remember how Officer Smythe was here recently? I forgot to tell you he dropped his briefcase. I hid it in the war room. Did you indeed? Did you indeed? Then Matthew, we should take a look around the war room.
Is there anything that you can tell us about where this took place or who did this to you? I want to save this little boy. I want to save whoever else they may have.
It's too late.
It's not too late. That's the thing. We talked to one of your friends, Jocelyn. She's doing therapy. She's in school.
Okay.
Thank you for the life.
talk to me. He won't talk to you, so
Locked briefcase.
keep trying. And then meanwhile, he runs away. And
Wooden pieces.
drug possession suspicion. But he's the victim here.
Sure. Yep, that's what I thought. Placard's right there, and that's everything.
Can you think of anyone that he may have confided in?
You need anything from us, sir?
I don't know. We have hit a wall with our friend Teddy. His friend, Jocelyn, was right about him working the piers. She might know more. Take another run at it.
Matthew, this must be the briefcase belonging to Officer Smythe that Lady Highmore mentioned. We better open it to take a look inside.
But when was it that you two first met?
This here appears to be a plaque, but there's something covering most of it. Perhaps cleaning it off will help us learn what it is. Unless we assemble this broken panel. Matthew, we have no time to dally. Blossom have our heads if we don't solve this murder fast.
He was the victim?
Jocelyn, what's going on?
Nothing. I don't need this now. I have to get to class.
Jocelyn, wait.
Did you mention you had a problem the first time we talked?
No. She got arrested at 14. I'm guessing we know how she got turned out.
Well, let's see.
Jocelyn's her master's got shot for prostitution almost 5 years ago. Yeah, it hit the back jackpot. Great beat up, chased Teddy.
They didn't just know each other on the streets.
These images are from the same chess and checkers club. In this one, whoever named Big Man vacancy straight in the coach.
7.
Terrifying.
Matthew, this diagram looks familiar. You're right. It's a copy of the plan we made with the resistance to ambush Lawson at the execution. But this version has a skull drawn next to Lawson's position on the map, and Enzo Jonas is assigned to deliver a deadly strike. Did Enzo modify her scheme and decide to kill Lawson without telling us? Who knows what else this young rebel is hiding about our investigation? He definitely owes us answers.
How many videos did they force you to do? Starting at 13. Teddy, we know that none of this was your choice. What does it matter? It does matter. Because they drugged you. They broke you. And then they twisted you.
Enzo, we found your modified plan. You wanted to assassinate Lawson?
And this isn't you.
You weren't supposed to find out until the deed was done.
I know
But
that.
yes, from the start, I was against the plan to arrest him. Lawson deserves death. It won't be enough to shut him in prison. He's too dangerous. You can't enact vigilante justice. Our aim is to fix the system, not break it further. I knew you'd say that, so I didn't tell you. I didn't tell Giulietta either. You were all set on arresting him. Last night, after Giulietta and I had finished our dinner of canned pork, I stayed awake and drew up my plan. So what about Gilbert? Did he get wind of your plan, or did he merely get in your way and you ruthlessly removed that obstacle? No, he knew nothing. I already told you, I never saw him. Well, you're hard to trust now that you've gone behind our backs. You'll regret it if we find you committed this murder.
You gotta help us stop these people.
What do you want to know? I was a kid. I never
Now Giuletta's possible.
I was in a dark room on a lousy mattress eating corn chips when I wasn't doing it.
Where did this happen?
A bunch of places, I don't know. All crappy.
Anything about the man who did this to you?
There was one. And it was
Matthew, now that you've collected all the green material, we can see that this is clearly a funeral plaque. And the text reads, "Here rots Inspector Gilbert. May he rest in torment." Someone threatened Gilbert with death and torment. So someone in the resistance either rejoiced in Gilbert's death or outright threatened him with it. Maybe the dry substance you collected will help us discover who made the plaque.
From the App Store or Google Play.
It's a small finger, a worm, a tiny sword, a matchstick.
Tea leaves. The dry substance you collected from the funeral plaque is a blend of dried hawthorn, cardamom, saffron, and milk thistle, common ingredients in medicinal teas. You say Lady Highmore mentioned earlier that she was talking about such a tea? Does that mean Lady Highmore made this funeral plaque wishing torment on Gilbert? Matthew, I believe it's time to have another discussion with Lady Highmore.
Which she just picked up alongside some striking Sofia Vergara's. She got both pairs of glasses and a free eye exam for just $69.95. Work it, girl. Okay, work it a little less for me. The designer says of it, it's not just a better deal, it's America's best. Hurry, sale ends soon. I like this view.
Lady Highmore, why did you make this funeral plaque wishing eternal torment on Inspector Gilbert? Oh, you found that. The truth is, I had that made in response to the treatment I got during my interrogation at Gilbert's hands. So you created this funeral plaque when he was still alive? But earlier you told us the interrogation hadn't troubled you. Yes, but it's demeaning to tolerate manhandling for such an absurd little man. We Highmores are taught self-defense from an early age, and we take no guff. History shows that if you bow to an aggressor, their aggression grows, their thirst for power increases. It's bad enough for this nonsensical regime has reduced even me to eating canned pork. I plan to show that Ninny I wouldn't be bullied. Well, hopefully your outraged dignity didn't lead you to murder.
OrderMaxTrainer.com to learn about 18 months special financing and how to save over $550 with our best deal of the new year.
Times. It led to false confessions and overcharged convictions. If you align yourself with the worldview, you get what you need. Not legally.
Alright, delete. 395. Let's go. Got it. Matthew, Officer Smythe's briefcase is full of inspection reports. It would be good to keep an eye on what Officer Smythe and the Justice Court know. Let's get these notes to Evie for analysis.
Idea how to make progress here, I'm all ears.
Do you know there's a pineapple in almost every episode of Psych? What? That's right, pineapple.
9 hours, and I'll see you guys when this is finished. Alright folks, we have returned. I'm going to speed this up for 6. Evie, what can you tell us about Officer Smythe's reports? I feel dirty after handling this many Justice Court documents. It's all lost in this great this and justice before all that. Anyway, Officer Smythe had tried to dig into the resistance, but he doesn't seem to know much. More interesting are Gilbert's notes on his reports. They are elaborate and nasty. On one, he wrote, "I'll suggest we test the guillotine on you before the execution. You're clearly not using your head." That doesn't sound like a good mentor-apprentice relationship. Let's talk to Officer Smythe about this.
Dad's in jail. My specter guy's dead. I don't know what to do.
Jen, first you accused me, and now this article. You have ruined my life.
You ruined my life. I know what you did to
I
me.
didn't do anything to you. You were on drugs. The therapist said that you're a teenage girl, you're very suggestible. He's not just going to admit it, he's smart.
Officer Smythe, you told us you had a great relationship with Inspector Gilbert, but we learned he treated you like rubbish. Well, a respectful officer never complains. I have to absorb his feedback and learn from my mistakes. But it's true, the inspector taught with a heavy hand, and it was difficult to withstand sometimes. It seemed my apprenticeship under the inspector would never end. Nothing I did was ever good enough, and he never trusted me to do anything myself. I once interrupted him while he spoke to Judge Umbright, and he took her canned pork and threw it at me. Forgive me for saying so of a superior officer, but it's a relief he's gone.
I'm 16. I can't have a baby now.
That's impossible.
Well, Matthew, I hope Madeline, Charlie, and baby George are getting a chance to rest after the birth. Meanwhile, we must race to solve Gilbert's murder before Lawson makes his guillotine fodder. We've learned that Enzo planned to assassinate Lawson, so who's to say he didn't kill Gilbert? Even Gilbert's own underling disliked him. I sense we're close, but we still lack enough information to close the case. You're right, Matthew. We must re-examine the crime scene.
Matches the pattern of a serial killer. This guy's womanizing people for it.
On purpose. That's why I call him the Phantom.
NCIS Los Angeles. Tomorrow, 9/8 Central on Ion Television. Monday on Criminal Minds. A city blackout sheds light on a deranged killer.
She survived this.
I chose to keep her alive.
She said he was white, with mean eyes, and repulsive breath.
Rotten inside and out. Criminal Minds. 10/9 Central. Ion Television.
We will see.
These little chickens are little yeah, small and intense like my niece Hannah. And you want to take her at it? Show him how intense you are. Now finish him.
Try our little doggies or little chickies for only $1.49. This is how you sign up. Stand up first generation college
Canned
student.
pork. Some blood on it.
Stand up if you're a mother. If you are actively deployed, a veteran, or military family, please stand. The world in which we live equally distributes talent, but it doesn't equally distribute opportunity. And paths are not all the same. I will tell you this: Southern Hampshire University is the whole
Here we go.
of your life. All around the world, but what I see here never ceases to
And it gets the first star.
change. I see it in their eyes. It happens when people connect with nature, with culture.
Chris is the only guy I'm gonna share
Today, I'm the first
that I
to
beat
see
his
change,
score.
to see people go out and come back new.
Princess Cruises. Come back new. Sail with the #1 cruise line in Alaska. 7-day cruises from
Nice, another 10 grand coming my
I
way.
take pictures of sunrises, but with my back pain, I couldn't sleep until
Matthew, this can of pork has blood on it. We know our killer eats canned pork. The blood could very well be our victim. Let's take a sample. And that trash can could hold a clue. Let's search it.
There's no reason for me to shop anywhere else.
Save 20% on your favorite brands and get fast free shipping. Shop online at Chewy.com.
Looking to lose weight this year? Try FDA-approved Ally. For every 5 pounds you eat from being absorbed. For the only FDA-approved OTC weight loss aid, try Ally.
Such fix is my own
Gotta like the look of those other posters, Mr. Concordia. Finding a glove in there. Matthew, you found a glove in the trash bin? I admit I don't see the significance. Oh, you're saying the glove resembles what Gilbert used to wear? And he was missing one glove when his body was found? We have no time for cogitation. Viola can tell us whether this glove is his.
This is Laura, and Butch, and Tank, and Tiny, and this is Laura's mobile dog grooming palace. Laura can clean up a retriever that rolled in foxtails, but she's not much on articles of organization. So she turned to LegalZip.
They help me out.
She means American LLC, trademark, and a lot of other legal stuff as part of our new business. So Laura can get back to the dogs.
Just sit still.
This is Laura's mobile dog grooming palace, and this is where life meets legal.
You say you need a heart transplant. That's a whole different ballgame. I was in shock.
I am very proud of the development of drugs that can prevent the rejection and prevent the recurrence of the original disease.
I never thought I was going to die.
We know so much about transplantation.
And we're living longer.
You cannot help but be inspired
There we go.
by the opportunities that the transplant
Mom says you're meant to carry his story.
Excellent, Matthew. Now let's take this blood sample collected from the pork can to Viola for testing.
He said he did it. I'm sorry. Oh God, I'm so sorry.
It's 9 hours, and I'll see you guys when both of these are finished.
It's okay.
See y'all then. Okay, folks, let's get the results of the glove and put a killer behind bars here. Well, Matthew, you'll be glad to know the glove indeed belonged to your victim. The sweat I found inside proves it. Excellent! What more can you tell us? I ran a series of tests and discovered a solution on the glove which contained witch hazel, camphor, and arnica. In other words, the glove was stained with ingredients common in salves for healing bruises. I checked with Dick, and your victim didn't have any solution of the sort on his body. I would say you're looking for a killer with a bruise. Our killer has bruises. Matthew, it remains to be seen if their conscience is similarly battered. Oh God, that one might read the Book of Fate and see the revolution of the times. Yes, Viola, these times are indeed worryingly unpredictable, but you'll help by shedding light on the blood we found on the can of pork. The blood indeed belonged to your victim. So the can was definitely left on the crime scene by our killer. Yes, and I managed to isolate some skin cells in the sample that didn't belong to your victim. From those skin cells, I learned that your killer is female. You heard her, Matthew. We're on the lookout for a femme fatale. Matthew, we must remain in Lawson's good graces, at least until we can formulate a new plan to take him down. I think it's Giulietta. To do that, we must now arrest Gilbert's killer. Let's go to it. Definitely not Judge Umbright, and it isn't Lady Highmore. I never thought this day would come. It's Giulietta Capecci. Gioletta Capesci, you're under arrest for the murder of Inspector Gilbert. How could you? You told us you were better than this. You said you didn't want to be your father's daughter. Of course I don't. Has the Justice Corps finally brainwashed you too? Certainly not. But you dropped Inspector Gilbert's blood-stained medal here at the Resistance headquarters, with traces of your food on it. Surely you don't think I'd bring evidence against me right to our doorstep? Well, some evidence you can't escape, like that bruise on your face. Did you get it in a fight with Inspector Gilbert? You think a resistance leader can get through life without some fights? It doesn't mean I'm a murderer. No, but you did plan the murder like a military campaign. We found your threat to the inspector. I was just venting my frustration when I wrote that. I never meant for him to see it. Fine, yes, I did kill Gilbert, but I swear it was an accident. I intended to go forward with our plan to arrest Lawson. I went early to prepare, but then Gilbert showed up, and he saw us. Saw me. Wait, us? You weren't alone during the murder? No, she wasn't. And if you want to arrest her, you'll have to arrest me too. Enzo, what are you doing? Don't implicate yourself. You can go free. I'm not leaving you. Senior Trooper Matthew, I was there too. I helped Gioletta cover up the murder. Well, this just keeps getting better. What happened exactly? As I said, Gilbert attacked me. We fought, and I pushed him into the guillotine. Then the rope slipped, and the blade cut him in two. It was awful. I nearly lost my mind, but Enzo helped me escape. I wasn't sorry to see that pig die, but Gioletta was beside herself. She never meant to kill him. And if anyone found out, she'd be added to the mass execution. I know I must face justice for my crime, but I didn't want to die, Senior Trooper Matthew. I'm sorry I lied to you. Matthew, it's true that if we tell anyone it was Gioletta, she'll be executed for what seems to be an accident. What should we do? She is a killer and an innocent at once. We can't condemn her to death, but what... Matthew, I'm sorry to interrupt, but this is beyond urgent. Our entire team has been arrested. Lawson's goons stormed the airship and rounded them up. What? Senior Trooper Matthew, can we do anything to help? No. If Lawson's coming after us, there's no hope for you. Run now. We'll deal with you later, if we survive this. And Charlie, tell us exactly what happened to our team. My goodness. Who would have thought? Two things that I never thought would happen. The team arrested Gioletta the killer. Officer Smythe, he was cleared early after Clue 3. Enzo Jonas, a male, not a female. Judge Umbright was cleared from the start. Lady Highmore, no bruise. It was Gioletta Capesci. We'll find out what's going on in Final Judgment 5-6. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks. It is official, Justin Lawson has gone way too far. Matthew, they came and they took them. Maddie and the baby. They're all gone. Slow down. What happened? Foot soldiers from the Justice Corps showed up at the airship. They said Officer Smythe reported we were hiding something from him during the investigation, which led them to conclude that our team was sympathetic to the resistance. Only Charlie and I escaped. How did you and Charlie manage to avoid capture? We heard them from the next room. and we laid under the sheets in the morgue like dead bodies. I didn't want to, but Dick convinced me I had to avoid capture in order to save Maddie and the baby. I should have helped them. Oh God, I could hear her screaming, the baby crying. Was anyone hurt? We heard them knock someone out. I think it was Viola. Whatever else we do, we can't go back to the airship. They'll hunt for us there. Oh God, what fresh horror has befallen us? Do we know where they were taken? The goons said our team will be held in a dungeon under the town square. And they'll be executed with the other dissidents tomorrow at dawn. What? Our team to be executed tomorrow? We must stop this. Senior Trooper Matthew, I heard what happened. I may be able to help you plan a rescue. We need to talk. Let's see what Lady Highmore has to say. We must rescue our team. Lady Highmore, they arrested my wife and son. We need to get them back. Yes, this is terrible news, but you can only help them by being strong. Forgive us for not seeing the bright side. Our team members are being kept in a dungeon under the town square, awaiting execution. That is precisely why I came. I know where it is. He gave it a nickname like the Cave or something. I'm almost positive there's a model he built of the place somewhere in the cellar. That could be helpful, but that's not all. One of our teammates took a blow to the head. We'll need to prepare for other possible injuries too. I'll need a pain reliever to concoct a safe concussion remedy. There should be adequate medicinal supplies for that here. I'll show Senior Trooper Matthew everything if Bontemps would like to search the cellar. And please hurry. Here, Matthew, take all of our resources. I'll do everything I can to help. Oops. Wait, hold on. Okay. I think I see something. Trunk. Here we go. Senior Trooper Matthew, this is my trunk of medicinal supplies. Let's search it. we go. A vial, and it's faded. Senior Trooper Matthew, it appears there's only one vial left in the trunk. Recovering the label will tell us if it's what we need. Here we go. Acetaminophen. Matthew, this is acetaminophen. It's a pain reliever, which is exactly what Richard needs to make a remedy. Let's get this vial to him at once. Nine hours. And now, this one, the Resistance War Room. I think that's a clue. I don't remember that being there. Dungeon model, just as I thought. There we go. Another new high score. Unfortunately, no lucky find. Matthew, what a dark day. I can't imagine how our team feels. Locked away to await execution. You're right, we must remain focused. This appears to be a model of a dungeon, but is this the model made by Lady Highmore's great-grandfather? There is a plaque with markings, but they're worn. Let's decipher them. I have another surprise waiting in store for you guys. I'm pretty sure you might know what it is. There we go. That wasn't a surprise. The grotto. I just got the 9 in time. Matthew, the plaque on the dungeon model says the grotto. Grotto is another word for a cave. This must be the nickname Lady Highmore was trying to remember. That means this is the dungeon where our teammates are being kept. We'll need Charlie to examine it for a way in. Hopefully he'll be able to concentrate despite his fear for Maddie and baby George. $6, but guess what, guys? I'm not going to stop immediately. I'm speeding both these up. First of all, I'm going to speed that up too. I'll start with the dungeon model. Matthew, we can't lose a second of time. The lives of my wife and son are at stake. I examined the dungeon's floor plan in this model, and I believe our team is behind the reinforced door in this room. Excellent. So we know where to find them. Not so fast, Bontemps. This enclosure is underground. The only entrance is through the door at the top of the staircase. We must find a way to get through that door, and we'll need a key to enter the cell. Where are we going to find a key? It's not as if it's just lying about. No, but I know who we can ask. Remember Evie's brother Nicholas? He's an architect who helped us during the World Exhibition. I discreetly called him here. He should arrive any minute to help formulate a plan. Please go talk to him. And let's talk to Nick Holloway. Nicholas, thank you for taking the risk to come see us. The Justice Corps are hunting for us everywhere. Are you kidding? That's my baby sister in there, Senior Trooper Matthew. I'll help any way I can, even if it means my arrest too. Hopefully it won't come to that. But our team is locked in the dungeon under the town square, and we need a way to get in. That's where the team is being held? It's impenetrable. Well, we've already made some headway. We found the dungeon model here because Lady Highmore's great-grandfather was the architect behind it. Oh God, yes. How could I be so stupid? Of course, we're in the house of architect Radcliffe Highmore. Highmore was famous for building special locks for the dungeon. When construction was finished, he was required to hand over the skeleton key. But he was notoriously paranoid, and rumor has it he kept a copy for himself. The key might be hidden somewhere in this house. This gives us hope. Matthew, let us search the cellar again, and we must also nourish ourselves to avoid passing out from stress. I'm also eating a little macaroni on the side. Excuse me about that. Sorry about that. I had my mouth open while I was chewing. That's okay. I don't think anybody's gonna get on my case about it. Bucket. Horseshoes. God, I hope we can rescue them. Hope the clock's a clue. There we go. Matthew, why did you pick up this old clock? Oh, I see. There's a lock on the back. This could be Radcliffe Highmore's hiding place for the dungeon key. We must unlock it at once. Six 464. 4 6 6 4 2. 2 4 6 4 7. Yes. There it is. Matthew, a key was hidden inside this clock. And the key fob says the grotto. Nicholas said it was the skeleton key, which should open all the dungeon doors. Matthew, this key gives us a real chance to rescue our team. We'll have to reconvene with the others and see what we can do next. We'll have to anyway, because let's get the results of the acetaminophen from Dick. Matthew, I've done my best with the supplies I took from the airship after the team's arrest. And the acetaminophen has done the trick. I made the remedy. This remedy should be safe for Viola's concussion, as well as any other injuries our team may have sustained. That's excellent news, Richard. Miss Pemberton is the only one capable of tending to Madeline and the baby's needs in captivity. With her injured, the new mother and child are in that much more danger. Now that we've got the remedy, we'll be ready to treat Viola or Maddie, if necessary. Matthew, the time has come to rescue Maddie and the rest of the team from the clutches of the Justice Corps. We've got medicine for Viola's concussion and for anyone else who might be injured. And we've got the dungeon layout and key. But the question remains, what do? We can't just stroll in there. There will certainly be a guard at the door. True, but I heard that George Blanton has become a prison guard for the Justice Corps. Blanton has always admired you, Bontemps. We can lie in wait until he begins his shift, and he can sweet-talk us into the dungeon. It's still highly risky. If he already knows the flying squad was arrested, he'll sound the alarm and we'll be locked up with them. Yes, but it's our only chance. Okay, Matthew, Dick, Bontemps, let's go get into position. Matthew, I'm starting to wonder how much longer we have to wait here. What if Blanton doesn't have guard duty tonight? Maddie and the others only have until dawn before they're executed. Lower your voices. Here he comes now. Okay, Matthew, let's go talk to him. The rest of you stay hidden. And let's convince him to enter. So let us enter. Officer Blanton, fellow implementer of justice, we've come on official business. Oh, Detective Bontemps, what an honor to see you. Yes, Officer Blanton, how nice to see you too. Still fighting against crime and chaos, I see. That's why we're here too. We've come because Mayor Lawson ordered us to move the dissidents to an alternate confinement. He did he? Strange, I didn't hear anything about it. Rumor has it he's angry with the flying squad for something. How preposterous! But of course with the inspector's murder and all, the Corps administration is in shambles. We were only just given word of the assignment ourselves, and we hurried over. I should say you were in a hurry. You're not even wearing the right uniform. Indeed. You don't happen to have an extra uniform, would you? These prisoners could use a reminder of who's in charge. I do have a couple of extra uniforms, actually. Here they are. Will you require my assistance? That won't be necessary, officer. Thank you. We were told to give you the rest of the night off. Enjoy. Oh, thank God that worked. Matthew, you and Charlie put these uniforms on, and if anyone sees us, you'll say we're your prisoners. Maddie and George, I'm coming to save you. If my analysis of the model was correct, the team should be... Matthew, I can hear George crying. Quick, we've got to get this door open. Charlie, Matthew, my God, it's so good to see you. I was so scared. Maddie, I'm so glad you and George are all right. How are the others? Matthew, Viola is still unconscious. I'll give her the remedy we made. Thank God you made it, Senior Trooper Matthew. Matthew, you won't believe it. We were put in the same cell as Catherine. Yes, everyone who was going to be executed was kept here, and now we're free. Thank you, Senior Trooper Matthew. You saved our lives. Don't think I'm not grateful to you, Matthew, because I am truly. But we must hurry out of here. Agreed. We must flee before the Justice Corps realizes what we've done. Oh God, we're really free. I could cry from happiness. No time to cry now. The Justice Corps will surely be hunting for us. We've got to get out of here, but we can't all stay in a large group. We need to split up and reconvene at Lady Highmore's. Perfect. Maddie, darling, you and the baby will be safe there. What about you? Aren't you coming with us? Of course I am. I really need to get to the airship first. What? But that's exactly where Lawson's goons will be waiting for us. Believe me, darling, I wouldn't leave you and our son unless it was really important. This is madness! At least let me come with you. We'll have safety in numbers. Yes, take Bontemps with you, and please, be careful. We will be. Matthew, let's all meet at Lady Highmore's in half an hour. Godspeed. To be continued. Oh boy. As I figure, the next case is not open yet. It's probably not going to be open until Thursday. Let's find out. This is the final case. January 11th. That is a Thursday. 5 new ones. Four new ones. I know I could have waited it out, but I wanted to get this case over with. Starting with case 14. That's where the new stickers are. I've almost finished one page back there. And that's where the big bulk of stickers went. This is the final one. The next time we see each other, it will be the final case in Mysteries of the Past. That'll do. And I'll see you guys on January 11th. Ironically, my sister's birthday. I'll see you guys then. Don't go anywhere. And it's time to settle the score and overthrow Justin Lawson. Join us next time. Thank you for watching.